So today I'm going to show you how to measure accurately beyond the basics of just, the regular bust, waist, and hip measurement. And I want to point out, this is my lovely model, Carol. She's my next door neighbor. Thank you so much, Carol. You're welcome. I have a piece of elastic around her waist. Now the elastic's yellow and I've drawn a black line right in the middle, but you could use a thin ribbon, you could use a thin piece of elastic, whatever you want to mark that waist. That's really going to help you with your depth and length measurements. Okay, so we're going to start out with the chest measurement. So Carol, I'm going to, lift your arms down. Okay, take a deep breath in and just relax. Okay, so the chest measurement is right above the bust, right under the arms, okay? And I'm getting 31, 32, and 3/4. So the measuring tape should be not too tight. You just want it to sort of be firm and solid on the body, okay? I'm going to take the bust, okay, great, arms down. And when you're having your measurements taken, look forward, look just straight ahead. Don't look down at the person who's taking your measurements. Okay? The bust is easy to sort of drop the tape a little bit, so you can just hold it kind of firmly. You can be a little tighter with the bust measurement than with some of the others, and I have 33 inches. So see the back of the tape goes right behind the 33, okay? Next I have the rib cage measurement. A lot of people call this the underbust as well, and a lot of people call this the overbust. So the rib cage is right below the bust, and if the person that you're measuring has got a underwire bra on, you'll kind of want to get underneath the wires. You'll just lift up just a little bit to get the tape under there. I'm not going to worry about that for the purposes of this video. 29.5. Okay. And then here we come to the waist. The thing about this piece of elastic that really helps you is that it sort of wants to go to the natural waist position. So it really helps to define where that is. The waist is the smallest point on the torso, the narrowest area. And I'm 26, 27 and 3/8. Next I want to do the 4-inch hip, also called the high hip. So what I do, and the reason that I drew this line right in the middle of the tape, is because I want to measure sort of like in this area here. So not necessarily the center, not necessarily the side, but I'm going to see, where's 4 inches? It's right there. I'm going to kind of keep my eyeball on that spot. Make sure your tape is level all the way around and not, kind of sagging to one side like that. And I have 33.5. Okay. Next is going to be the low hip, or just the regular hip. And Carol, could you turn to the side for me? A little, right there. Yeah, great, thank you. So what I want to see is where is the widest part in the back, or what part of the butt kind of sticks out the farthest. That's where I want to take my measurement, 37. Okay, so those are kind of the basic ones, and then we're going to do a few more circumference or horizontal measurements. The first one I'm going to do is across the front. And across front is basically from here to here, so from underarm to underarm. It's kind of like where you measure the chest, but without going the entire way around. So arms down, arms down. So I'm just going to go there to there, and I get 12. Okay, and then turn around for me so that your back is facing the camera. Great. I'm going to do the same thing with across the back, and that is also about where the underarms are, and that's 12 inches. Okay, you can face the camera one more time. Okay. Look straight ahead, and the neck, just do it at the base of the neck, 12.5. The bicep, Okay, arm down. Do the bicep with the arm relaxed. No muscles. Okay, 10 3/4. The wrist, you can just measure right below that little bone that's right there. Okay. 5 3/4. I'm going to do the thigh, and you're going to measure the thigh at the widest part of the thigh, which is usually about 1 inch down from the separation between the legs. I have 20 3/4. I'm going to do the calf. Again, you just look for the largest part, 13 1/2, and then the ankle is just right above the foot. And here's the bone. So you're measuring just right above that bone for 7 3/4. So that's it for our circumferences. Now we're going to do our depths, or our length measurements. Okay. The first one we're going to do is called high point shoulder to bust, and that's commonly written as HPS to apex if you're using sort of more professional terms. The apex is the part of your bust that's the farthest out. So I'm going to high point shoulder. If this is the shoulder seam, and it slopes upwards, the high point is right here. So you're going to measure from right there straight down. Your measuring tape should basically be vertical here. That's kind of how you know if you've gotten high point shoulder in the right place. If you're kind of over here, you're not at high point shoulder. Okay. And that looks like 10 inches. Okay. And then I'm going to go hollow to waist. Now hollow is that part of your neck that's right here. It's like the little teardrop that you can put your finger in. And you're going to just measure from kind of the center of that straight down to the center of the waist tape. Okay, and I have 12 1/2. Okay, turn around so that your back is facing the camera again. This is going to be sort of the same type of measurement, but it's nape to waist. You're going to measure from that bone that you can feel at the back of the neck down to the center of the waist tape. I have 14 1/8. Okay, you can face the front again. Okay. The next one I want to take is the hip depth. So again, I want to find where is the sort of apex of the butt. So if this is the apex of the bust, the apex of the hip is where does the butt come out the furthest. I want to measure down from that waist tape, and we have 9 1/2 inches for the hip depth, which is also the waist to hip. Waist to floor, we're just going to measure from the center front tape, and I'm going to go down. It's 38 1/2 inches, and you can add the waist to floor to the hollow to waist measurement for a total hollow to hem, which is a very standard bridal measurement. Okay. Now I want to go shoulder to wrist. This is how we determine the length of our sleeves. And I'm going to feel for that bone that's right there, and then just sort of put my finger just a little past it. Okay. And I'm going to measure to the wrist 21 inches. Last, we're going to do the inseam and the outseam. This exactly. So I'm just going to put the top of the measuring tape right there at the split between the legs and measure down all the way to the floor. This goes to the floor, 26 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to measure the outseam. And the outseam is going to go down the side from the waist, the center of that waist tape, down to the floor at 39 inches. And that concludes our demo of how to measure.